how did you do your research for your books? It's almost as if we're right there in the conversations.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you feel that way. I really try very hard to make them as much in the words of the women themselves as I possibly can. But it's a combination of it's really detective work to do women's history, but in some cases there are books that have been published, and that's very helpful, particularly if they're books just of letters. But in other cases, what I do is go to the footnotes in books about the men and see what I can find. And then, again, thanks to technology, I can find out easily online where the men's letters are, and then call up those institutions and find out if they have the women's letters as well. And since I've been doing these books, there has been a lot more recognition that it is worth publishing. So I've gotten a lot of wonderful cooperation from the curators and librarians at universities, libraries, manuscripts divisions, the Library of Congress, the historical societies, historical homes. All of those places have been just wonderfully, wonderfully helpful. And the other thing that was true for this most recent book, Capital Dames, was that now newspapers are online, and I cannot tell you how much fun that is. I mean, you can waste days just reading newspapers because all the ads are there, everything's there. So you really got a picture of what life was like. And so there are two wonderful sites. One is free, that we taxpayers are paying for through the National Endowment for the Humanities, and it's on the Library of Congress website. It's called Chronicling America, and the other you pay for. It's called newspapers.com. But you can put in search words and dates, and you get newspapers coming up from all over the country. And so that's been a huge advance from when I first started writing these books.
In two of your books, you include recipes.
I do include
Why?
recipes because I think it's a connection. One of the things that I think is true about women is that there's certain ways that we connect no matter where we are and no matter when we are. And one of the ways is through recipes. And so I decided to put some of these women's recipes in. Some of them are pretty scary, like to dress a hog, what is it, a calf's head or a hog's head? But some of them you can absolutely make, I've made, and they're delicious.
Hearty choke pie.
Hearty choke pie, which is artichoke pie.
Oh, okay.
And that's a Martha Washington recipe.
You have to use marrow bones.
And
What's a marrow bone?
Well, you could use beef broth. Martha Washington's cookbook, which is at the, much to Mount Vernon's dismay, is at the Historical Society of Pennsylvania, was given to her by her first mother-in-law, by the Custis mother. And so that cookbook has to be back to the 17th century at least.